Why? Because I believe something you do not? No! I stand here without fear because I remember. I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me.
Just watching Little Matrix, but it seems to be pretty apt for the situation Melbourne Ice are in. The Melbourne Ice headed up to New South Wales to play a couple of games. We lost 7-4 to the Newcastle North Stars on the Saturday night, but then came back with a 6-4 win over the Sydney Bears on the Sunday afternoon. So the Ice lost 7-4 against the North Stars. If you have a look up and down the roster there was a lot of players in there who don't commonly play with the Ice. You've got Scott Corbett coming back in for the first couple of games of the year that he's played. Todd Graham and Jeremy Brown are still sort of finding their feet in the team. They both only played 5 games out of a possible 13 so far, so they're still getting used to the way the Ice want to do things. Sonny Bell and Mark Smith don't commonly play for the Ice, so it was a little tough for them to slot back in. And also the team was without Baxi and Chris Wong, who are 2 quick small forwards who really seemed to make the difference with some of the forward plays that they wanted to make. Because of all the lineup changes that they've got going at the moment, you can see the team still is in the process of gelling together and getting a lot of the chemistry and communication going there. There's a lot of individual skills on each of the players, but putting them together on the same lines or in the same D pairings, you can see that sometimes they're not quite working as well as they could be if they were more established. It is something that, the team is going to work on during training, and you know that they're going to get those things nailed. This is one of the challenges that you have when you've got a great roster full of a lot of talented players. Who do you leave off? Who do you bring in? And you just know that they're going to get more game time and be able to gel that much better. To talk about the goaltending for a little bit, Gustav Huth started in net. He made 11 saves on 16 shots. Jaden Pine-Murphy came in and played the rest of the game. He made 15 saves on 17 shots. It's difficult to pin this loss on the goalies because the North Stars forwards just kept on coming and shooting and finding good positions and getting in excellent shooting lanes. Now, part of that could come from the defence, but you also have to consider that there were a lot of lineup changes in that game. So it could have been also the communications, could have been the chemistry, it could have been the expectations of where players were that turned into turnovers to the North Stars. To give you an example how I don't think it's the goalie's faults in those ones, the last goal that Jaden let in was because somebody was left unmarked on the back post. Now, I don't care how good a goalie you are, if you're going to leave someone marked at the back post, they're going to score 99 times out of 100, and it's going to be an easy shot. Down the other end of the ice, Harrison May was in net for the North Stars. He made 31 saves on the 35 shots that he faced, and it was interesting to note that he gave up all 4 of his goals in the third period. One last stat for you, the power plays. The Ice managed to score on 2 of their 5 power plays, which is a 40% clip, not too bad. The North Stars went 0 for 10, and that's pretty bad, especially considering that they had a 5-on-3 in the middle of the third period. Just quickly about the Bears game, it stopped a 3-game losing streak for the Ice, so it was good to get back in the win column there. Tommy Powell scored a hat-trick and also got 2 assists for 5 points on the day. Matt Armstrong contributed a goal and also got 4 assists for 5 points as well. A couple of stats about the Bears, Sean Hamilton-Steen got 4 assists, and Michael Slamp and Ben DeMarco both got 2 goals each. Now remember at the start of the video I was watching The Matrix? Remember that quote that was playing? I can't remember the whole quote, so I'm going to read it out to you. I stand here without fear because I remember. I remember that I am here, not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. If you think back to 2012, this is exactly the same pattern as we did during that season. We started off really strong, we had a bit of a wobble in the middle of the season, we were able to recover enough to guarantee our spot in the playoffs, there was another little wobble right at the end, but then we powered into the playoffs and we all know what happened at the end there. We're currently sitting 7-4-3 out of our 13 games. We've won outright 53.8% of our games. Now the only other teams who have a greater than 50% win percentage are both the Brave and the Mustangs. The last thing to consider is we're on top of the standings. We're leading the pack. I know I go on about how the defence needs more work or how the team needs to gel a bit more or how I talk about how well the goalies are doing and all that sort of stuff. But in the end, we're doing better. We've got nothing to complain about. So just before you go and start bagging on the Ice because, they're not doing it the way you think they should, we're leading, we're doing it right, we're doing better than everyone else. So just ease off a bit, consider who they're playing against, consider how well we've done so far, and consider what we can do as we keep moving forward.